William Williams was interested in eugenics, the emerging theory that held that society was no stronger than its gene pool. Henry H. Goddard, one of America's best-known psychologists, believed that intelligence tests developed by France's Alfred Binet could be used to identify the mentally defective. Goddard was the first to translate Binet's test into English and the first to adapt it to mental health. He devised the terms moron, imbecile, and idiot to describe mental deficiency. Goddard's work caught the attention of Commissioner Williams, who hired him to test arriving immigrants. Goddard suspected that certain ethnic groups were less intelligent than others, but his testing did not fully support his suspicion, so he adjusted the results. Goddard claimed that roughly 80% of the arriving Italians, Eastern European Jews, and Russians were mentally deficient, a claim aired in Congress, bolstering the arguments of those who wanted to keep them out of the country.
Now, he was not persuaded by the data he had collected, and he did something that perhaps no medical scientist, no scientist of any kind should do. He corrected his results with a pencil rather than questioning and retesting and doing all of the things he might have done. And so his data, which was flawed, was published, and it created quite a stir.
Goddard's test was not the only basis for identifying feeble-mindedness. Facial appearance was also used.
Every effort is made to pick out those whose appearance even remotely suggests the existence of mental disease or the possession of a psychopathic organization. Dr. Thomas Salmon.
Facial expression is a very valuable aid. Individuals possessing dull, stupid, indifferent, and apathetic countenances devoid of expression should be investigated more thoroughly for feeble-mindedness. Dr. Howard Knox.
Well, looking at both photographs and the writings, the terms used are so dated, and they, for the most part, create an immediate negative reaction on the part of myself and others of our time. Feeble-minded, imbecile, insane, idiot. These were operative terms at the time in a rudimentary science that was trying to distinguish between normal and abnormal and various levels of abnormality. But to develop diagnostic criteria and say this is this type of mental defect and this is that type based on a facial characteristic strikes me as an early science trying to find its footing.
Belief in eugenics was not confined to people like Goddard or the politicians who exploited his findings. Senior public health service physicians, including some at Ellis Island, supported the eugenics movement and had no hesitancy in fingering the ethnic groups they deemed inferior. However, other Ellis Island psychiatrists, including Howard Knox and Eugene Mullen, had doubts about Goddard's methods and devised other ways to test mental capacity.